What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Head Coach Ross of the Attacks Gym, Street Warrior, Inji Uhuru Kipura. As you know, Inji Uhuru is a Swahili term. It means the way of freedom. Kipura is the ancient fighting system from the Kingdom of Congo, which is really more properly an empire of Congo. That was mispronounced as capoeira. Kipura was mispronounced as capoeira by the Portuguese and the Brazilians and subsequent Europeans who utilized the Portuguese-Brazilian terminology. Okay, let's go straight into it. I received a number of emails and comments, what have you, with this Your Mestre Lied to You series that I'm putting out. And most of them were very supportive and understanding, and they grasped right away the scientific data that I exchanged with the various people in the comment sections, and which I always buttress my points and positions with anyway. And that was very, very good. But some of you just flew into straight fancy, flights of fancy, we're just out of there with it. And we're referring to all kind of interesting things that is not true. You were doing stuff like, hey, you know what, you're referring to the secrets and the mysteries of the art. That's the subject of this one. It's another thing of this installation of Your Mestre Lied about. Because the people who are telling you this, including the people who believe this, they're lying too. It's not that there aren't secrets in the art of Kipura and its various branches. It's that you don't know them, and you don't show them. And none of your practice in any way leads to it. And we can prove it. Think about this, just before I even break out anything, in the rest of my discussion, but just think about it, use your own common sense. The warriors of the past who practiced like me have names like, Nganga and Zumbi, which is a title. You guys mispronounce that as Zumbi dos Palmares. No, Nganga and Zumbi. It's a title, all right, for that has its roots in Congo, of course. And it refers to a leader, both spiritually and combatively, connected especially to the Congo culture and the cognates of the people of the culture of Congo and the art of Kipura, right? The other warriors, we can just select them, just pull them out there. Let's just say some stuff from Brazil just to make the point. Bisuru, Lampiao, Nascimento Grande, Maram Sata, Maria Doge Homens, Angela Ingia Braga, the Angola, who lived in the Quilombo near the Amazon basin, who's whooping up on all kind of people. Teresa de Benguela. I'll just throw those out. That should be sufficient. You know what? No, let me throw a couple more just in case. We're gonna go with Koba da Santi, and we'll wrap it there because we can keep going. We can go mention a whole lot of other people, Osuavos, and just keep going and going and going, but we'll never reach the end. So my point is, what is the one thing that all of these warriors had? Actually, they had two things. Really, if we're going to go there, let's go ahead and go there. They really had five things that they all had together all the time. All right? Number one, had incredible fighting skills. Number one. It has the number one thing that you do not get practicing the folkloric, functional, dysfunctional, cardio capoeira style. Doesn't matter whether you're doing regional or the art miscalled Capoeira de Angola. If you're coming with a folkloric base, that means it's dysfunctional. Period. Now there are some people who are less dysfunctional than others. That's like trying to say someone is less paralyzed than another. There's people who are completely and totally paralyzed, and there's people who may be paralyzed, with their left eye or right finger or something like that, but they're still paralyzed. The objective here is not to be paralyzed. That's what any form of cardio capoeira bestows upon you. What else did the warriors of the past have? They were all very spiritual. None of them lacked any knowledge regarding the spiritual practices of our ancestors. Even if they themselves didn't subscribe to it, which most of them did, they were very well aware of the practices, and they observed the cultural practices, including Mestre Bimba. His wife, is famously known as one of the more powerful, quote unquote, priestesses of Candomblé. All right, so that's just another example of what I'm talking about. What else are we talking? They are all uniformly African. They were uniformly African. They did not tell you that they were Brazilian. Lampião was pissed at the government of Brazil and did not consider himself to be a Brazilian. He considered himself to be what he was, a cangaceiro. He was the king of the cangaceiros, right? So there you go. He was the second king, by the way. Nganga and Zumbi, the one who there's a whole line of them. Because like I told you, it's a title. All right. But the ones who you refer to as Zumbi dos Palmares, I don't even have to talk about that guy. You already know what the deal is. You already knew his spiritual prowess. You already know his mental prowess. You already know his physical prowess. You already know his outstanding personal character. You already know all that good stuff. His brother was the business too. His brother does not get his credit, but his brother continued the struggle after Nganga and Zumbi was captured and executed. It was his brother that led the people of Palmares to the promised land outside of Brazil, to freedom. Yeah, but of course there's a reason why I don't tell you that story. Yeah. But we'll get there later. Ngola Teresa de Benguela, Ya Benguela in the motherland. All right. Another outstanding example. Tremendous warrior, tremendous genius, incredibly crafty, stealthy, cunning, African. Never conflated her identity with Brazilian, with being Brazilian. And of course, her art was combat first, everything else next. Now, for those of you who don't understand, let me repeat this. The reason why every single fighting system and self-defense system, and even human development system that has its roots in self-defense, must absolutely every single time start first with self-defense is because if you are not hale, healthy, whole, and physically capable, then you're too busy not being hale, healthy, whole, and physically capable to do anything else. You can't do anything about culture. You hear people advance that incredibly stupid argument in the first place. It's just dumb. You're too busy being jailed, raped, maimed, enslaved, not hale, healthy, or whole to develop culture. The only time you can develop culture is when you have freedom, physical freedoms for yourself and the people in your community, your state, your kingdom, your country, for long enough to actually develop specific cultural practices that reflect your collective beliefs and thoughts and lifestyles in that region at that time. So of course, the whole argument, it's about culture, it's also about music, it's not about fight, it's about culture. So you can't fight. And if you could, that's the only way you can get culture and music and everything else. So don't go for that garbage. And then the part that gets me the most is it's really funny. They start talking about certain people, especially the older guys, or those who are really, really devout practitioners of what they call capoeira de Angola. They start making these oblique references to stuff that they don't do. Oh, well, you know what? If you did your ginga right and you move, you do whole way. Well, let me see. Oh, well, it's a signal. No, it's not, you idiot. You just can't do it. That's the bottom line to that. Think about this. Think this through. Do you think that Bisuru, that Madam Sata, that any of the legendary warriors would be talking about the skills and techniques that they have and that they implement for self-defense, but then when it comes time to actually do it, they don't? Hell no. The only reason why we even know about them is because they were extraordinarily skilled and gifted, talented warriors. First, nobody was like, hey, your knowledge and understanding of the Orishas is so great that we have to record you. You can't scrap a lick, but your knowledge of the Orishas is fantastic, so we have to record you. No, that never happened. You know why that didn't happen? Because they killed people who couldn't fight, but also knew that had the knowledge of the Orishas, because that knowledge was threatening to the slave regime, and it is very, very, very important to have. But that knowledge also comes with what? Unapologetic African identity, not Brazilian identity, and certainly not identity as a slave, inferior to those who are not of African descent. So I don't believe all that. There's some people who will tell you some doofy stuff like, well, you know, some of the things I teach you now are not some of the things I'm gonna teach you later. I know that. Let me give this to you in real simple terms. When you're coming into, say, like a classically Asian fighting system, all right? You know you're a white belt, or you know you have to earn your white belt. You're not coming in on the first day trying to learn black belt techniques. What you're all trying to do is come in the first day learning whatever it is you do know. You should be able to learn it and apply it right now to self-defense. Right now, to self-defense. How many boxing coaches do you know start you off with learning stuff that has nothing to do with boxing and it doesn't help you scrap at all? And in fact, it's the antithesis of it. How many boxing coaches do you know teach you the unjab? You cannot jab. You're jabless. This is what you want to do. I'm going to teach you how to unjab, so then later you will magically be able to jab. And then we ask, wait a minute, man, wait. This unjab has nothing to do with the mechanics or the functionality of the jab. And it was our legendary warrior ancestors who could jab. How come you're unjabbing? Well, the secrets, you have to follow my brother, and then you'll understand later. No, I won't. I understand right now. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're lying. You never knew the art. Let me go find that brother Ross, the Tax Gym Street Warrior and Gia Uhuru Kipura, who will drop it on me from the very beginning and be honest about that. Yeah, here's the jab, all right? This is what it is, okay? This is how you do it. This is how it's connected to the motherland. That's where it comes from. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't know that. I know you didn't. That's actually annoying. I shouldn't be the first and the only one doing this. This information is thousands of years old. There should be no way that I should be the first one. I should be able to consult with any number of hundreds of seniors and any number of hundreds of peers about all of this. But I don't. I don't have that option. It's me and my Uncle Bobby. It's pretty much it. Everybody in our family. That's it. People who we taught. Pretty much about it. There are some parallels, some brothers who are on the same path, who I greatly appreciate. Mestre, you know what I'm saying? Down there in Tennessee. I'm not trying to blow you up, brothers, but I just got to give you your props. All right. Of course, Dr. Gambon. He's the business back in Ghana. It's pretty much about it. But between all of us, I'm the one with the more complete, in this, meaning the spiritual aspects of what have you, the direct application, and its modernization is using modern weapons, etc., so on and so forth. I'm the one with the more complete system at this point in time, because I've done it longer, and I've come from a lineage of people who've done it longer. That's it. That's the length and the strength of that entire situation. Do not ever believe anybody who will teach you something what is obviously garbage and tell you that it's magic. It'll turn into the leprechaun's pot of gold if you hang with it long enough. No, the reason why they're telling you that is because they want you to pay them, and they don't know. Those are the two reasons why. Period. And let me get a little bit more into this, because some people start getting worked up. Oh, Ross, you dissing people? No, I'm not. No, I'm just telling what it is. Well, you know what? I saw your footwork, and you don't do the Jenga. Do I even have to say anything to that? Well, I saw a couple of you. Yes, I'm gonna have to say something to some of you. The rest of you already know what the deal is. But people who say it's real simple. You don't even have to be real disrespectful at all. Oh, okay. If I'm doing it wrong, let me see you do it. Against resistance. No. Not against another cardio capoeira guy. No. Do that against a Muay Thai guy who's trying to knock your head off. Do that against some wrestlers trying to take you down. Do that against a couple of people who are trying to get at you. Do it against 3 people who are trying to beat you down and rob you. You know, how about doing it like how our sisters had to face every single day against 3, 4, 5 people trying to rape them and kill them? How about doing that? You can't? Well, I can. If I can and you can't, then I'm doing it right. You're not. The number one most important thing is functionality. If it works, you did it right. That's exactly the number one thing that they don't show you. They don't show you none of that. There may be people who will show you various prayers or what have you. Do they connect to anything? Come on, man. We all know. Well, those of us who do our research recognize that the knowledge that we learn, the pataki and whatnot that we learn from the orishas isn't just a sweet little story. They have some really, really direct, practical, multi-tiered applications. There are postures and stances named after the orishas. There are weapons that the orishas use, and not just the ancient ones, because these weapons are concept and principle based. There are movements that are attributed more to certain orishas and less to others, and conversely. There are healing methods. There are dances. There are songs. There are specific means of cultivation of intelligence. Yes, specific means of cultivation of intelligence, which much later, the New Jacks came about and found it. European science calls this intelligence that there's theories of multiple intelligences. And I put a video about this before when I was talking about who is more intelligent or who is less intelligent between Trump and Mayweather. And I broke down how modern European science has a theory of multiple intelligences that cover 9 intelligences, right? Our ancestors covered at least 15. Okay? Proper teaching of this art will help cultivate the 2 most fundamental forms of intelligence you have, and the only 2 that allows you to also move into mastery of the other forms of intelligence. You cannot start with some of the other intelligences and get to these 2. But you can start with these 2 and get all the other intelligences. And our ancestors knew it. That's why we approach things in a holistic, synergistic manner and method. And this discipline, Njia Uhuru Kipura, is guaranteed to achieve that result within a specific period of time, usually 30 days. And you see those results. It's in black and white. Well, you get your money back. The original art, Kipura, really achieved that result because the circumstances that it was practiced under was particularly unforgiving. Now, if you're a so-called capoeira de Angola, which is garbage, I shouldn't be using that phrase, all right, was in any way aware of this information and its application, then everything they do would bear that stamp of verisimilitude. There wouldn't be a sudden halt of warrior legends. All of a sudden, there's no more bisuros. All of a sudden, there's no more lampiaos. All of a sudden, there's no more nascimento grande. All of a sudden, there's no more Teresa de Benguelas. No more Maria dos Homens. No more Cobas. You know why? Because they stopped practicing. Well, 2 reasons. Let me be completely honest. Those sisters and brothers, those warriors, won. Brazil won't tell you this. You have to read the history of the country surrounding Brazil to actually see what happened and connect it with the timelines that was happening in Brazil, connect it with the timelines that's happening in Africa, and then the much larger picture, the truth comes out. Those sisters and brothers won, and they won by maintaining their freedom, either away from the cities, but still within Brazil proper, or actually they broke out of Brazil, the country entirely, and lived the rest of their lives free in other countries. And those other countries smartly understood, hey, you know what? It costs me less to leave those sisters and brothers alone, all right, and keep doing what I'm doing than it would be for me to run over here and get my butt kicked like the Brazilians just did. That's the truth. Go do your history. Go get your read on. And that again brings me back to those who claim to practice so-called, I'm not going to say that art. The Brazil-centric mispronunciation and misunderstanding of the Kipura of Ndongo. All right? Couple of things behind that. What I'm going to say, most of you don't know, some of you do. So those of you who do know, I'm not talking to you. Those who don't, I want you to pay attention. The art that we're talking about prior to the rise of Bimba was not called so-called that other thing. I guess I have to say it for y'all because you haven't advanced to the point where you can grasp this yet. So, prior to the rise of Bimba, the art was not called Capoeira de Angola. That phrase was created by Mestre Pastina. The art was not called Capoeira de Angola in Brazil. That phrase was created by Bimba. There are multiple fighting systems, variations of the same fighting system, all of which was Capoeira, that was being practiced in Brazil at that point in time by different ethnic groups. The Fulani, the Ghana, much later the Yoruba, some of the Hausa, etc., so on and so forth. All right? None of them took the form that you're familiar with now. Even Mestre Pastina himself said so. He said in one of his most well-known interviews, and I believe you can even see it on Capoeira Connection. If you go online, you can see it. He said that he is aware of the fact that there is a lot of history indicating that the practice of the art was much different in the motherland and in earlier times in Brazil than it currently is now. And he said he believes it. He says he believes these things because all things grow and change. In this case, in so-called Brazil, the art had to change as a method of survival because prior to the rise of Mestres Bimba and Pastina, the military and police of Brazil finally succeeded in a 98-year war in extinguishing the Capoeira Maltas that were the largest ones that existed in Rio, Salvador, and Recife. Rio, Salvador, and Recife. Took like 88 years, 98 years, something of that order, for them to eradicate these brothers and sisters. And that was after the emperor of Portugal, who was fleeing Napoleon at that time, came to Brazil and ordered the destruction of the warriors of Capoeira, so-called, the Maltas, the Capoeira warriors, and I believe it was 1801. I believe that year was 1801. All right, somebody go out there and Google check that for me. All right, 1801, I believe the year was. It took them that long. It took them that long to exterminate the sisters and brothers of the Maltas who remained in the cities and remained in the state. Those are just the ones who remained there. The ones who bounced completely from that region live their entire lives free. Their kids live their entire lives free. Their grandchildren live their entire lives free. They're probably free right now. That's what we're talking about, and it's those histories which are not being told. None of which is being preserved in the practices of quote-unquote Capoeira de Angola. Those cats are not practicing functional as a general part. There are those who say, well, so-called Capoeira de Angola maintains its African roots. No, it doesn't. Not really. What it does is kind of has like a spicing, a flavor on it overall. And I'm talking about generally. I'm not talking about specific practices. Okay, well, what about so-and-so right here? I don't know, oh boy. I have to go see what's going down, say what's happening. Okay, will we interact? Great. Okay, cool. Well, maybe you did. Okay, well, no, maybe you didn't. I have to see them. I'm talking about the general approach. Okay? And don't go there when we're having this discussion, by the way. Oh, well, this guy right here, that's one guy out of a whole bunch. If he achieves what are you talking about, if he's the one who does what you says, or she does, or they are doing what you say, they're proving the rule. The rest of them don't. The rest of them don't. That's like if we're talking about boxing, you're saying, yeah, well, if you take boxing, you're blocking all the punches, stuff like Floyd Mayweather. No, you won't. There's only one Floyd Mayweather. You ain't him. I'm not him. You'll start learning to block and do what have you like the way you do. Capoeira de Angola, as a general rule, has been heavily influenced by the philosophy and direction of Pashtina. And Pashtina's approach was not that of a self-defense art. Let me say this again. Pashtina's approach was not that of a self-defense art. It was not about fighting, which automatically separates it from the genuine and authentic warriors of the past. So you cannot say that Capoeira de Angola was the art that was being practiced collectively prior to the rise of Mestre Bimba. That is historically false. It is misleading. It is untrue. You need to quit that right away. Okay? Now, some of you probably have your hair set on fire because I said that about Pashtina. Yeah, well, too bad. It's true. In the process of you letting your hair get on fire, you're missing the most important thing that Pashina's done. That process he did, deliberately not making it a fighting system, was actually in order to enable a colossal attempt at truly multi-tiered genius. He doesn't really get his credit for it. I can't even get into it in this video because it takes too long. But what he attempted to do is just astounding. And even having the courage to attempt that indicates he was a particular kind of person who was incredibly, incredibly rare. I wouldn't have done it. I tell you right now, y'all have been screwed. I wouldn't have done it. but he did, and I have a great deal of respect for him. I have a great deal of respect for him for doing such. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go ahead and lie and say that what he's talking about doing and what he handed down was a fighting system, because it wasn't. Dude's not squabbing. There's no scrapping skills in it. It's just not practiced that way. It was designed as more of a philosophical, moving meditation, exercise, healing type thing. It definitely wasn't a get down squab, which is why when you practice it, you don't have no squabs. That's why you have no self-defense skills at all. You're in better shape than the average squamboni is, but you can't scrap. That's why they don't never do it. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Oh, Ross, you haven't done it. You don't know about capoeira. Shut up, dog. You talking about these guys who were doing this in the past? What's your Navala skills? Where at? Let me see. Where they at? I'm waiting. No, thought not. Where's your stick skills? Nope. You ain't got those? No. Okay. What about your grappling skills? Oh, they didn't grapple. Yes, they did, fool. If you're over here facing a bunch of people who are trying to chain you, who are trying to fight with you in nets, who referred to you in mass as champion wrestlers, not just wrestlers, champion wrestlers. Guess what you can do, you dummy? You can wrestle, you can grapple, you breaking bones and throwing people. Experts like Dr. Thomas Nardi has uncovered data wherein these same warriors launched themselves across rivers, not only to escape slavery, but also to launch attacks. Come on, man. Where's your skills in those areas? You can't do that? Well, I can. I have a protocol that allows this to happen. It's predictable. Why is that? Because I focus on self-defense first, which means that my system is more complete than Pashtina's is. It's real simple. The purpose for it is different. So yeah, now that I finished making a whole lot of you mad. Understand, I'm really not setting out to offend you. If the truth hurts, well, you're still in good company, because there was a beautiful sister who's, R&B songstress who was known as Truth Hurts. She's gorgeous. Right? Too bad you're not her. So, the truth hurts, man up, woman up, do something up, deal with it. Because it also liberates you. You should be, if you are actually a part of the lineage of warriors, you would rather have the painful, but ugly, but liberating and self-empowering truth than any form of candy-coated, beautiful, seductive lie. That's how I ride. That's how everybody who watches my videos ride. That's how we get it in the Taxi Gym Street Warrior and Gia Uhuru Kipura. Alright? Please follow my social media. You'll see the links under there. My Facebook, my Quora, my Twitter. Please especially go to my websites and purchase our array of products there, from ebooks to multi-tiered instructionals. Definitely would appreciate your support. Definitely appreciate your time. You take care of yourself and you be safe out there. Alright? Asante sana. Amani. Ashe.